evening, everyone. It is 6 p.m., Tuesday, July 20th, 2021, and I call this regular board meeting of the Mercedes Independent School District to order. Roll call to establish quorum. Myself, Rachel Trevino, President. Lucy Delgado, Secretary. Rick Garza, Trustee. Eddie Howell Jr., Trustee. Oscar Hernandez, Trustee, and Pete Martinez, Trustee. Brian Acosta is not present. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance led by Trustee Eddie Howell Jr. and invocation by myself. Please bow our heads. Dear Heavenly Father, thank you for this day and every day you bless us with. I ask you to give us the wisdom and knowledge to be able to make good decisions for our students and staff. I ask that you place your holy hand over us as we discuss items as a team of 8. As we begin to plan for another school year, bless each one of our campuses and staff members that they may be successful in all they plan and do for our students. Bless our parents and guardians as we work together for our students to help them along during this journey of success. In Jesus' name we pray, amen. Do we have the form, no open form? Okay. Next on the agenda, we have Superintendent's Report. A, ESSER 2 presentation. Mrs. Mendiola.
Good evening, Madam President, Board of Trustees, Mercedes ISD community and staff. Our first presentation is by Lisa Cantu Reyes, our Federal Programs Director, and she will be presenting on ESSER 2.
Good evening, everyone. I am Lisa Cantu Reyes, and I am the Federal Programs Director, and I also have Ms. Delia Garcia here from Accounting that we both oversee the ESSER 2 grant funding. ESSER stands for Elementary and Secondary School Emergency Relief Fund. It is under the Coronavirus Response and Relief Supplemental Appropriations Act, and so it is the CRRSA. So we'll refer to the grant as the ESSER 2 grant. So in December, next slide please. In December of 2020, the Coronavirus Response and Relief, the CRRSA, was signed into law. $54.3 million was dedicated to the elementary and secondary emergency relief ESSER funds. This grant, like we mentioned before, is a CRRSA ESSER 2 grant. The intent and purpose of this grant is to provide education funding to prevent, prepare for, or respond to the COVID-19 pandemic. The funds are available as of March 13, 2020 through September of 2023. We did post a public notice of the intent to apply for the ESSER 2 grant funding, and that was posted on June 10th on the district website. We actually submitted the grant on July 8th, 2021, and at the time I wrote this presentation, we were waiting for TA to approve the grant, but as of last Friday, July 16th, we received the NOGA, the Notice of Grant Awards, that we received the ESSER 2 grant funding. So the method of financing 2021 hold harmless. So for the 2020-2021 school year, districts, LEAs will be able to receive hold harmless adjustments, increases in ADA, FTEs. TA will fund a portion of the hold harmless using ESSER 2 funds through the ADA reduction. And TA will reduce the total refined ADA in the amount necessary to ensure each LEA receives a total state and ESSER 2 funding equal to the amount that would have been available through the Foundation School program. Now this grant is only, it's a one-time funding source. We would love it to be more, but it is a one-time funding source. Well, our ESSER 2 district entitlement is $12,196,717. The following slide shows a budget of the breakdown of these ESSER 2 funds. So $9.4 million will go to payroll costs. Supplies and material, we have $576,000. Capital outlay will be $535,000, and then indirect costs to the district will be $1.6 million, equaling the $12,196,717. The next slide outlines the payroll costs that will be allocated. We have 47 teachers that we will be funding under this grant, 8 principals, and 8 other administrative professionals. Under supplies and material, under technology, we will be purchasing Chromebooks for in-class labs. Under the area of transportation, we will be purchasing air purifiers for our school buses, GPS student tracking system that Mr. Vallejo has requested, and cameras, additional cameras for buses. Under capital outlay, we will purchase 13 thermal temperature scanners as requested by Nurse Bustamante, 3 school buses, and there's a little note there that TA is currently consulting with USDE regarding the purchase of vehicles with ESSER funds to ensure that they are allowable. So once they give us the go-ahead that we can purchase vehicles or the buses, then we will do that. If not, we will have to reallocate that funding. Any questions you may have?
The only question I have, guys, is, well, Ms. Mendiola, I don't know if it's a fair question, but how much does one school bus go nowadays?
It's about 100,000.
So,
That's with air conditioned, sir. Because they do sell them without, and then
Yes.
they are
Okay.
less expensive.
so far, right?
And there is a grant, just since you asked the question, there is a grant out there that Mr. Vallejo will be applying for that could help pay 80% of the cost of a new school bus. So as soon as that grant comes out, we will be applying for that.
Okay.
Is that the average, 100,000, or depending on which brand of
It
bus?
also
'Cause there's
depends on the,
different-
yes, on the company, and there is a specific company that he likes to use that's most reliable.
Okay.
Right, yeah.
Any other questions for Ms. Cantu?
It's a very good presentation. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Cantu.
Cantu. Next on the agenda is B, Superintendent's Report, 2021-2022 Proposed Compensation Plan Presentation by Juanita Ibarra Rodriguez, Assistant Superintendent of HR and Student Services. Mrs. Mendiola.
Yes, Ms. Rodriguez will be presenting this evening.
Good evening, everyone. Madam President, Superintendent Mendiola, Board of Trustees, and Community. This evening, I'm going to be presenting a draft of our upcoming 21-22 proposed compensation plan for the district. Board members, I have provided a copy, a colored copy. The reason for that is because the changes are in red, and that'll make it easier for you guys to follow what the changes are. So just very briefly, our compensation plan includes all the salary and wage structures that we use in the district and stipends. This is the guide that we follow when we employ or bring somebody on board to our district. Our compensation plan, of course, is consistent with board policies, the annual approved budget. We work hand in hand with the business office and our administrative guidelines. I'd like to begin with the first part of the compensation plan is really the procedures. Let me give you an example. If we hire a teacher with 10 years of experience, it'll tell us where that teacher will begin. If we hire a paraprofessional with 20 years of experience, it'll show us a formula. For example, we need to give her credit for those 20 years of experience, so the formula is from the starting or the minimum of that pay grade, we give her the 20 years, which is 20%, and that's where that individual would begin. So that's what the first couple of pages are. If you turn to Mr. Handy, after page 10? Unless, do you have any questions on the procedures, processes? The next page. Okay, so this is the actual start of the salaries. The first thing in red is under the teacher hiring scale. We are going to be placing our elementary math specialist, our elementary reading specialist, and our ESL bilingual specialist. Please remember that all these positions are ESSER funded, but we need to add them to the compensation plan. Do I have any questions on those positions? Okay, we move on to the next page. Under pay grade 101, that's where we have the accelerated learning specialist. That's going to be a 197-day position. After that, we have a dropout prevention facilitator. That's an existing position, but because of the district need with attendance and truancy, we are making that position 197 days as opposed to 187. For our social workers, we also have the need for them to become 197 as opposed to 187.
I have a
And-
quick question, ma'am.
Yes, sir.
How many social workers do we have in the school district?
We currently have 2 on board, and then we did hire one under ESSER funding, an additional social worker.
Right. And then we have an opening,
should've asked
and then
you
we have an
first,
opening
so
for
I
2 more. We have an
Yep.
opening for 3 under ESSER, and we currently have 2 funded locally.
Okay. I apologize, I should ask.
No, that's okay, sir. Any questions, please stop us.
Follow chain of command.
Okay, the next one is the, under 102, sorry, is Accelerated Learning Coordinator. This is a 226 position. And that coordinator will be overlooking the Accelerated Learning Specialist, again, an ESSER-funded position. Our 504 RTI Dyslexia Coordinator was approved for 5 more days, so we're going from 210 to 215 so that she can close out the year, at the end of the school year. Then we have a Counselor Behavior Health and Wellness. Under counselors, that's a 207 position that will be added. That is not an ESSER position, but it is a grant position under Title IV. And then we have the licensed professional counselor, an associate. That's position is paid. But if you go to the clerical technical plan, under pay grade 303, towards the bottom, you have elementary assessment clerk. Each elementary was given an assessment clerk, 197 days, and this is also an ESSER-funded position. On the following page, under pay grade 305, the one on the top of the page, we have a technology help desk specialist. That position is also ESSER-funded, and it's 210 days. Okay, and then if you go to the next page, the auxiliary pay plan. Let me know if I need to slow down. Under 406, we are adding a licensed welder. We currently have a welder on board, but we are adding a licensed welder. 251 days. Okay, on the next page, which is the substitute tutor part-time, there are no changes currently. It's in blue. On the next page, we have extra duty summer programs. There's no changes. I'd just like to reiterate that teachers will be kept at $35 an hour for extra duty pay because we will be needing them for a lot of tutoring. On the next page, on the stipends for sports, there are no changes currently, but I do want you to keep in mind that we have, TASB is conducting a stipend study for the district. So once we get those results, which should be later this week, then we will sit with Coach Adame and look at those stipends. On the following page, under stipends and other compensations, under teacher, we did add a specialized area, 3rd to 10th grade, reading and writing stipend for $1,000. And we will get master schedules to find out because sometimes teachers only teach 2 or 3 classes, so it is subject to proration. Under other, we do have a CNS manager. This is only at the high school, stipend for $2,000. And then we also added a social worker with master's degree stipend of $1,200. Towards the bottom, under career and technical education, we do have under health science teacher a $10,000 stipend, and then under welding teacher, dual enrollment, also $10,000. For stipends, those are the only changes currently. Please remember that this is a draft, and again, once I get the results from TASB on the stipend study, there'll probably be more changes forthcoming. Do I have any questions on the compensation plan? Okay, if not, thank you very much.
Thank you, Ms. Rodriguez.
Thank you.
Okay, moving right along, next we have the action agenda. A, Business Office, report and discussion on district's property values and state funding by Olga Hines, CFO. Mrs. Mendiola.
Yes, Ms. Hines?
Good evening, Madam President, board members, and Superintendent Mendiola. TEA requires school board members to discuss the property values at a board meeting within 120 days before the district adopts its budget. And the reason is TEA has an indicator on the first, the FIRST, that's, that we have to answer yes, that we did discuss, and as you already have known from prior workshops, how the state values affect the state aid. And prior to HB3, the district used the property values of the prior year to calculate state aid. With HB3 enacted in 2019, the time lag no longer applies because the district is now required to use the property values of the current year. But since the property values tend to increase from one year to the next, and we're to explain that there's an inverse effect on state aid. The higher the property values of the district, the less the state helps the district. And we just need to reiterate, they want us to explain this, so that's the reason for this presentation.
Thank you, Ms. Hines. We can go to the next item.
2, discussion and possible action to approve the 2021 budget planning calendar. Mrs. Mendiola.
Yes. Ms. Hines will also be presenting on the budget calendar.
Okay, again. The purpose of this action item is for the Board of Trustees to approve the public meeting date for the 2021-2022 budget and adopted tax rate. As you can see on the calendar, the budget meeting is scheduled for Thursday, August 26, 2021. And then the other dates, August 20th is when the meeting is posted. And the August 11th date is where the notice of public meeting to discuss the budget and the adopted tax rate will come out in the local paper, the Mercedes Enterprise. And July 20th, the date there that you see for July 20th, this is today's meeting date where you all will approve the planning calendar, if you agree with the dates.
You want to go through the rest of the August?
Yeah, no, that's, yeah,
We're good?
no, that's,
Okay.
those are.
Madam Chairman, administration is recommending approval of the 2021 budget planning calendar.
Okay, may I have a motion?
I so move.
I have a motion by Mr. Hernandez.
I'll
May I have a
second.
second? I have a second by Mr. Garza. Any discussion? Okay, all of those in favor say aye.
Aye. Aye.
Aye. All opposed? Motion passes. Do we go continue to 3? Okay. Next, we have 3, discussion and possible action to approve budget amendment number 7, general operations. Mrs. Mendiola.
Ms. Hines will be presenting on the budget amendment number 7.
The administration recommends approval of this budget amendment number 7 to the general operating fund. This budget amendment increases revenue for the Child Nutrition Fund. They received a reimbursement from the USDA, the United States Department of Agriculture, Emergency Operational Cost Program in the amount of $286,987. So we need to increase the revenue in the budget. And then also increase the revenue for the sale of the house by Harold Elementary, and that was in the amount of $137,376. And also for CNS, the indirect cost that the Child Nutrition Service Fund will pay into the general operating fund for $180,565. So local funds are increasing by that amount. Also on the expenditure side, that $180,565 is an increase to general operating, but it's an expense to child nutrition.
Oh, okay.
So that's on the expenditure side for CNS. And then also CNS, with that money that they got from the USDA, will help replace and repair equipment.
Okay.
So we're increasing the expenditures by $253,835.
Any questions for Ms. Hines? Madam Chairman, administration is recommending approval of budget amendment number 7, general operations.
May I have a motion, please?
So moved.
I have a motion by Mr. Garza. May I have a second?
Second.
Have a second by Mr. Martinez. Any discussion? Okay. All those in favor say aye.
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 Aye. All those opposed? Motion passes. Thank you. 4, discussion and possible action to award RFP number 042121-354, property and casualty insurance. Mrs. Mendiola.
Yes, Mr. Ralph Mendez, our purchasing director, will be presenting this item.
Good evening, Board President Trevino, Board of Trustees, Superintendent Mendiola. Before you is the administration's recommendation for RFP 042121-354, property and casualty insurance. Administration solicited requests for proposals on May 2nd, 2021, and received proposals from the following agents: Carlisle Insurance and Montalvo Insurance Agency. Administration requested proposals for fully funded property and casualty insurance. The district received 1 property bid from Carlisle Insurance and 1 casualty bid from Montalvo Insurance. The district's premium for property insurance increased by $126,000 to $661,000. The premium for the casualty insurance increased by $29,000 to $175,000. According to Risk Placement Services 2021 U.S. Property Market Outlook, these rate hikes are tied to the increase in reinsurance costs paid by those insurers providing insurance coverage to commercial entities. The outlook forecast increase between 15 to 35% on property insurance. On the casualty side, we experienced several claims across multiple lines of coverage that could be accounting for the premium increase. The deductibles and coverage limits remain at the same dollar amounts from the previous year. At this time, we're available for questions.
Any questions
And-
from the board?
Well, I just want this to be on the record that I did have questions to Ms. Mendiola, and they were answered, and Mr. Mendez seconded that, so I don't have any more questions on it. Just the
Thank
cost is increasing, that's my concern, but
Yes, sir. Any other questions? Madam Chairman, administration is recommending AmRisk for property insurance and Liberty Mutual for casualty insurance be awarded under RFP number 042121-354.
Okay, may I have a motion?
I so move.
I have a motion by Mr. Hernandez. May I have a second? Second. I have a second by Ms. Delgado. Any discussion? Okay, all those in favor say aye.
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 Aye. All those opposed? Motion passes. Thank you. Discussion and possible action to award RFP number 062121-358, MHS parking lot paving. Mrs. Mendiola.
Mr. Mendez will also be presenting on this item.
Good evening again, Board President Trevino, Board Trustees, Superintendent Mendiola. Before you is administration's recommendation for RFP number 062121-358, the Mercedes High School parking lot paving project. Administration solicited proposals for the MHS parking lot paving project on June 28, 2021. A total of 2 proposals were received from the following vendors: Reiner Construction Services Incorporated and Rizzo Paving. The committee met on July 14, 2021 to review proposals. The committee decided that the proposal from Rizzo Paving provided the best value to the district. The scope of the project encompasses removing and overlaying approximately 16,000 square feet of the parking lot located in front of the Mercedes High School. The selected vendor will sweep and haul off excess rock and dirt from the area and fix any potholes prior to the asphalt being overlaid. They will also reinstall parking lot blocks, restripe parking lines, cross-hatching, and handicap markers on the new asphalt. The total cost of the paving project is going to be $32,127.76.
Any questions from the board? Madam Chairman, administration is recommending Rizzo Paving under RFP number 06212-358 for the MHS parking lot.
May I have a motion, please?
So moved.
I have a motion by Mr. Garza. May I have a second?
Second.
I have a second by Mr. Hernandez. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All those opposed? Motion passes. 6, discussion and possible action to award health insurance RFP number 042121-353. Mrs. Mendiola.
Yes, Madam President, Board of Trustees, I will be presenting on this item. If we can go to the PowerPoint, Mr. Handy. The first slide shows the carriers that submitted the best and final offers for Mercedes ISD. For administrative services, we received a best and final from United Healthcare and TML Blue Cross Blue Shield. For pharmacy, we received best and final from Veris and Medalist. And for stop loss, we received best and final from American National. This next slide provides a summary of dollar amounts for administrative services with UHC at approximately $356,000, TML with pharmacy at $336,000, and TML without pharmacy at $347,000. Next, we have our PBM amounts, which is our pharmacy benefits manager, with Veris at $807,000, Medalist at $880,000, and Navitus at $977,000. Lastly, our best and final for stop loss is American National at approximately $727,000. Next slide. The following graph depicts the overall comparison when bundling the administrative services, pharmacy benefits manager, and stop loss insurance. As you will note in the second bar graph, combining United Healthcare for the ASO, Veris for the PBM, and American National for stop loss, the net annual cost is approximately $1.9 million. The following chart, and I know it's difficult to see the numbers, but they are displayed up here and also in your board book. The following chart is a cross comparison of the various costs associated with each carrier that submitted a best and final offer. These are the costs that we utilize to derive the total annual cost that you see in orange. Further down the chart, you will see a row labeled Estimated Max Claims Liability. This is the dollar amount that our business office will utilize to budget for in the 21-22 school year, which is approximately $5.3 million. Our next slide summarizes the expected annual savings. For the ASO, we expect to save approximately $75,000. For the stop-loss insurance with American National, an estimated savings of $212,000. And with the pharmacy benefits manager from ESI to Veris, an approximate savings of $258,000, for a total savings of $546,000 for the district. Our goal is to ensure that our district and our staff mutually benefit from this $500,000 savings. Are there any questions from the board?
Ma'am, I'd just like a couple of comments. You know, I can only speak for myself. So when I ran for this position, I made a contract with the community and I said, I'm going to make an impact. And this is an impact, in my humble opinion, right? The board and Ms. Mendiola, this is an impact. Because if you just multiply, again, just 500,000 times 10, that comes out to a whopping $5 million that we could have possibly have had it into. Now, I could be wrong, you know, could be off a couple of 100,000 or so. But I hope for future generations, because, you know, we're never guaranteed that we'll have life tomorrow or in a year or so, but I hope that the board will consider that. I'm sure Ms. Mendiola will consider it, that, you know, we look at the insurance and look at those tough decisions, and some people might not feel very comfortable, but we need to put away some of these vendors, because this is the hard work. This is what it's worth. So Ms. Mendiola and your staff, I know it was a lot of work, you know, but like I've always said, you know, you don't walk right away. You have to crawl, and I commend you and your staff.
Thank you, sir.
All that time that you took for all the questions I had, because I don't know if any of the board was, but I did put you to work. I mean, I'll be honest. And I asked legal if I can share the questions that I had with Ms. Mendiola, because I think it's time that the board is transparent. And if anybody wants to see the questions, by all means, I can pass them out to the public. I'm going to be really
Yes,
short,
sir.
okay? So if it's okay with you guys. Number one, I'd like to see some type of information on projected claims costs for the upcoming school year. She delivered, okay? So, yes, we have all that documentation, all the spreadsheet, et cetera, but the bottom line is, you know, I'm an investor, I'm a taxpayer, et cetera, where is the taxpayers' money going? And you answered it, thank you. Number two, your presentation on slide 3 out of 6 is fantastic. However, I'd like to ask you about the pairing, and she answered it, okay? And spot on, you get a better price with some of them that work better. Some of the vendors work better together. Number 3, I said, please clarify the committee meeting in the middle list of PBM. Again, I didn't know about it, but she clarified it. There is what we call the final best offer, right?
I'm sorry, yes,
How do you
best and
pronounce
final
it?
offer,
Okay.
best
There
and
you
final
go.
offer, yes.
She answered it. Slide 5 out of 6 for the sake of transparency. I wanted to see all 3 of them, the current UHC, the proposed UHC, and then TML. But then again, we didn't need to have the 3rd column. She answered it. Number 5, this one caught my attention, and this is the pharmaceutical guys. And I don't know if you look carefully right there, the $257,973. That's outstanding. You know, over 10 years, we could have saved $2.5 million. So she answered that question. And I believe it's just the cost between the pharmacist, the pharmaceutical benefits manager with the school district. So very happy, good response. Let me see, I asked her about the rebates. That's public information, and we don't get them all. You know, I had asked her, I said, so we're gonna get rebates for all the pharmaceutical medicine, and she answered it. Well, if a generic's $4, you're not gonna get a rebate, guys. The high-ticket ones.
Yes.
Oh, boy.
Definitely. We're looking at possible rebates for over $300,000, sir.
And again, let me reiterate, if we would have kept in the old system, literally, we're giving out money to the vendors. So, you know, the strength and the power of the board and the superintendent, you know, this is where we go back to taxpayers, says, this is what we've done. So outstanding work, Ms. Mendoza, and the board, right? Because, you know, it's the team of 8. Let me see, what else did I was gonna ask you? No district employee service. I'm gonna call it out on this one, but I guess we'll take care of it later. I said, no district employee survey pertaining to the current status of our medical insurance plan, but you did provide last year's.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so, I think the questions we had was, any changes to deductibles, and you answered that one, we won't know until,
Yes.
So
Once
the-
we approve everything, then we'll see where we,
Okay.
again, where our employees and where the district will benefit.
yeah, and I think Lucy had asked that great question, and that is, guys, what would be the immediate impact, right? And you answered that question too, so we gotta make sure we vote on it, right?
Yes,
And then
sir.
start looking at negotiations, right? Okay.
Yes, sir.
And we had asked Ms. Mendiola about NAP Hospital, right, Lucy?
Yes, NAP
It
Westlaco.
wasn't in the,
Network.
Essentially, yes, essentially it wasn't in the network with UHC. I know I did submit a letter to UHC asking them to consider, and as far as I know, and maybe Ralph, do you know if they were able to get NAP Medical in network or not yet?
I think you were in the process of,
We were in the process, okay.
Does it look
I
favorable?
think they have to negotiate it's negotiation. So UHC and NAP need to work on their contract together.
yeah, and Ms. Mendiola, thank you so much, because, you know, it's a learning process, and, you know, I love to learn, but she mentioned that instead of going to the emergency room, go to urgent care. It's only $150. I didn't even know that, guys, you know, so now I know, because instead of I have to go to the emergency room, now I'm gonna think, I said, wait a minute, instead of getting a $3,000, you know, deductible and all these bills, I could have just gone to urgent care. It's only like $150. So, a lot of things to learn, guys, so, again, thank you, Ms. Mendiola, and I guess you, right?
Thank you, Mr. Hernandez. And I don't know if there are any other questions or comments from the board. Again, we appreciate the support. The staff also did a great job. Mr. Mendez and I worked hand in hand to try to get everything answered in a timely manner. So again, thank you to the support of the board. At this time, administration would like to recommend United Healthcare for administrative services, Veris for our pharmacy benefits manager, and American National for our stop-loss insurance under RFP number 042121-353.
Okay. May I have a motion, please?
I so move. I would gladly.
I have a motion from Mr. Hernandez. May I have a second?
I'll second.
I have a second from Mr. Martinez. Any discussion? Okay, all those in favor say aye.
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 Aye. All those opposed? Motion passes. Next, we have B, governance, discussion and possible action on endorsing a candidate for TASB Board of Directors, Region 1, Position A and B. May I have a motion to endorse one of the TASB candidates for Region 1, Position A?
I got a question, Lady Chair. I've never done this before, I don't recall, but
It's,
we
I
have
think
to
it's,
nominate one.
Is it Pedraza?
There's two, A and B. B is unopposed. She's an incumbent, I think it's. yeah.
Right.
Yes.
he has one.
But
He
you
has
gotta-
one
The board's gonna have to choose one of the 3 for A.
for A. It's in our board packet.
Yes,
sir.
yes, I saw that one, okay.
Yes.
So we're just voting on one, right?
We're-
Oh,
What we
that's
need
my
to do,
question.
We need a motion.
we need a
for-
motion on an individual.
Okay, got it, thank you.
Okay? So again, may I have a motion to endorse one of the TASB candidate for Region 1, Position A?
Mr. Trevino, I motion to nominate Region 1,
the name?
The name would be Mr. Roberto Perez.
Okay, Roberto Perez. May I have a second?
I'll second that.
Okay. Any discussion? Okay, all those in favor say aye.
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 Aye. Aye.
Aye. All those opposed? Okay, motion passes. Tony, since B only has one, do I still need a motion? Go to the motion, okay. May I have a motion to endorse, the one candidate for Region 1, Position B?
I so move.
Okay, and what was his name?
It was Sylvia,
Sanchez Garza.
Okay, may I have a second?
Second.
Okay. Any discussion? Okay, all those in favor say aye.
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 Aye. All those opposed? Motion passes. Okay, we are now on the consent agenda. I'm going to start to my right. Ms. Delgado, do you wish to pull anything out for the consent agenda?
No,
No?
thank you.
Mr. Hernandez?
No.
Mr. Garza?
Hold on.
No? Okay.
B2.
Okay. Mr. Howell?
No.
Mr. Hernandez, I'm sorry, Mr. Martinez?
No.
Okay. May I have a motion to approve all but B2 on the consent agenda?
So move.
Okay, I
Second.
have a
I'll second
motion
it.
from Mr. Garza and a second by Mr. Hernandez. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
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 All those opposed? Okay, motion passes. Okay, Mr. Garza,
Yes,
B2?
on B2, when we had discussed it in the policy committee meeting, under CH local, the exception for emergency contracts, were we gonna get rid of that after all, or?
Yes, sir, we did remove that. We are not going with TASB's recommendation, and therefore the board will, all approvals under over 50,000 or more need to go to the board.
Because it was still included in the document itself.
Yes, we're good. We should have removed it. I know that I asked Ms. Ibarra to remove that and submit it. Did we remove it?
black equal bids, that way it's for the record.
Okay.
Good job, Brett. That's it. Motion to approve.
Okay.
Second.
May I say, okay, I have a motion to approve by Mr. Garza and a second by Mr. Hernandez. All those in favor say aye.
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 Aye. All those opposed? Motion passes. Okay, executive session. Personnel pursuant to Section 551.074 of the Texas Government Code and attorney consultation pursuant to Section 551.071 of the Texas Government Code. 1, resignations, terminations, appointments, evaluations, reassignment, duties, and discipline of professional, paraprofessional, and non-contract employees, teacher substitutes and substitutes for maintenance, transportation, and cafeteria department. B, discussion and private consultation with attorney regarding pending or contemplating litigation, settlement matters, and/or matters where the professional duty under state board requires private consultation with the school attorney. It is now 6:45, and we are in executive session.
Scary.